Được công nhận là chuyên gia tài chính toàn cầu với nhiều giải thưởng danh giá, từng đưa ra rất nhiều phân tích, dự đoán chuẩn xác về diễn biến thị trường, xuất hiện hơn 40 lần trên các phương tiện truyền thông tài chính như CNBC và Bloomberg. Ông là ai? Hãy cùng chương trình Nhịp Sống Trẻ kỳ này tìm hiểu nhé!
Quý vị thân mến, người mà chúng tôi đang nói đến đó là ông Singh, một người đã nhiều lần khởi nghiệp thất bại trước khi trở thành một chuyên gia trên thị trường tài chính. Và ông đã trải qua một bước ngoặt của cuộc đời để giúp cho ông có thể gặt hái được những thành công và bén duyên với nghề viết sách. Và bản thân ông là một người rất là yêu thích viết lách, cũng như là truyền tải những kinh nghiệm và hiểu biết của mình đến cho nhiều người hơn ở trên khắp thế giới. Và ông đã đang có 4 cuốn sách về tài chính bán chạy nhất ở trên thị trường. Và ngay bây giờ xin mời quý vị hãy cùng gặp gỡ ông Singh để cùng bắt đầu buổi trò chuyện vô cùng thú vị ngày hôm nay. Ngọc Anh xin được trân trọng kính chào ông và rất là vui mừng khi ông đến tham gia chương trình ngày hôm nay. Hello sir, very welcome you to our program today.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me today.
Và câu hỏi đầu tiên Ngọc Mai muốn hỏi đến ông Singh đó là vì sao mà ông lại yêu thích thị trường tài chính và điều gì đã giúp cho ông đạt được những cái thành công và bứt phá để tạo nên những thành công hiện tại?
Sure. Well, that's a great question. I think the first main reason I fell in love with the financial market is because I wanted to make a lot of money. You know, I think that was the aspiration of myself because growing up, I didn't do very well in school. So that was the first thing. Secondly, why I fell in love with the currency market, is because the currency market or the forex market is actually the largest financial market in the world. So when I read about the financial market, I thought it was amazing. Today, the currency market trades about 7.5 trillion US dollars in one day. It makes it the largest financial market in the world. And this is the same thing I always tell the people. So the three main reasons now why everyone should be involved in the financial market is because number one, it is the largest financial market in the world. Number two, you can buy and sell at any time. Number three, it is open 24 hours a day. And actually number four, which is the most exciting, all you need is really an internet connection and a laptop or a mobile phone and you can be trading anywhere in the world.
Và với cương vị là một chuyên gia tài chính thì Ngọc Mai cũng rất là muốn nhờ ông có thể nhận định về thị trường kinh tế tại Việt Nam cũng như là trên thế giới ở thời điểm hiện tại.
So let me just start by talking about the global scenario now, then I'll talk a little bit about Vietnam because I think it's important for us to understand globally what is happening. Now, globally for the last 2 years, I think all countries have been fighting with the COVID pandemic. And because of the COVID pandemic, most countries are pumping money into the financial system. You know, whether is it Singapore, whether is it Europe, whether is it Australia or even the US. So in those times when the central banks are pumping money into the system to help the people, there's a lot of inflation because many central banks, they are printing money. As an example, the US, which is the largest economy in the world, they are printing a lot of money. So there's a lot of cheap money that is floating in the system. Now, what happens is when they print a lot of money that goes into the system, it causes inflation. All right, so the whole world is fighting inflation now, across Vietnam especially, Singapore especially, US, Europe, UK, all countries around the world are fighting with inflation. So that's the current problem now. To fight this problem, most central banks around the world, Vietnam including, they have to raise their interest rates. Because by raising the bank interest rates, it has the effect of soaking up the money into the banks so that people don't spend too much money. It has the effect of slowing down the overheated economy. So this is the current situation now. Okay, so we need to understand it's because of inflation. It's affecting throughout the entire world. And it's affecting, in fact, people's livelihoods. Here's the reason why. Because with high inflation, things get more expensive. So that's the current environment, ending in 2022 and going into 2023, about the global financial markets and about Vietnam as well.
Và theo ông thì diễn biến thị trường trong năm 2023 nó sẽ đi theo chiều hướng như thế nào?
So going into 2023, this is what I'm seeing. Now, the entire markets are made up of four main financial sectors. The bond market, the forex market, which is the currency market, the stock market, and what I call the new kid on the block, which is the crypto market. All right? Now, many people like to move into stocks and crypto, but because of the entire meltdown in 2022, the stock market is selling off, the crypto market is selling off. What I'm seeing moving into 2023, is that most investors or most traders would actually come back into the currency or into the forex market. And this is the reason why. It's because most people are buying stocks. They like to buy low, sell high. Most people are buying crypto. They like to buy low and sell high again. But all these financial asset classes are crashing. They are failing. So the reason they are coming back into the forex market is because in the forex market, as the prices are falling down, they can still sell and make money. So for 2023, I'm seeing a lot of money moving into the forex or into the currency market.
Và trước tình hình khó khăn hiện nay thì rất là nhiều người đã nhận định rằng sẽ xảy ra khủng hoảng kinh tế. Vậy thì theo ông nhận định này là đúng hay sai? Và hiện tại thì chúng ta đang ở cái giai đoạn nào của chu kỳ kinh tế? Và ông dự đoán là khủng hoảng kinh tế nó sẽ đạt đỉnh ở cái thời điểm nào và nó sẽ kéo dài ở trong bao lâu?
I think we are already in a recession. It's just that many people have got different definitions of a recession. So if you look at the classical definition of a recession, it basically means when you have 2 quarters of negative growth. All right, so that basically means in any country, including Vietnam, if you've got 2 quarters where the growth is negative, you are technically in a recession or you are technically in a crisis. Now, I think what is more important for us is this is something my mentor taught me over the last few years. It doesn't matter what is going to happen, all right? We shouldn't worry so much about predicting. We should be more concerned about reacting, all right? So I think that's an important thing for all of our viewers to understand. Never predict, always react. So in this particular case, how should we be reacting? Well, I want to focus on 2 main sectors, the business market and the investment market. So for businesses throughout the world, including Vietnam, when there is a crisis, what should businesses do? The first key thing I'm always sharing with business owners, is that they need to pivot. So this is the key word. What do I mean by they need to pivot? Well, if you're doing a lot of offline sales, it's very important for you to start thinking about how to shift to the online market. That's the first thing for business owners everywhere. Number 2, for the investment world, since we are moving into a recession, into a crisis right now, what should they do? Well, number 1, don't be so flippant about spending so much money. Conserve your cash or move your money into the banks because banks are now giving higher interest rates. So those are the few things I would like to share specifically into the business world and into the investment market.
Và một cái vấn đề mà Ngọc Mai thấy là rất là nhiều người đang quan tâm hiện tại đó là cái việc tăng lãi suất, và hiện tại thì nó chưa có cái dấu hiệu dừng lại. Và theo ông, trong năm tới, năm 2023, ông dự đoán là lãi suất nó sẽ tiếp tục tăng hay là nó sẽ quay đầu?
Yeah, that's a great question. So each time whenever there's a raising of interest rates or lowering of interest rates, I always like to look at the US first, all right? Because the US is still the world's largest economy at this point of time. So the central bank of the US, which is called the Federal Reserve, what they are saying, and they are already giving clues to all of us, they are saying that they are going to slow down the pace at which they are raising interest rates. So that can be a clue for all of us. Now in 2023, will there still be a rate hike in many countries? The answer is yes, but the pace of the rate hike will be slower. So that's currently the environment going into 2023. Now, the next question which you asked me, which I think is important, what should traders or what should investors do in this kind of an environment, right? I've got 2 things to share with that. Number 1, you can either move your money into the banks, right, so that you can take advantage of the high interest rates, or for those who are a little bit more financially savvy, I've got a view that I think bullion, when it comes to gold or silver, will tend to rise. Gold specifically, it just basically touched about 1,800, and then it fell down again. But in a high interest rate environment, all right, gold will technically tend to rise. So I think it is important that for those who understand a bit more on financial education, they can look at 2 things. Number 1, high interest rate, move money in the bank, all right, or look at gold and silver, because in the next few months, it should still tend to rise.
Từ trước đến nay thì Ngọc Mai cũng đã cảm thấy rất là hứng thú về thị trường tài chính, và hôm nay có cơ hội được nghe ông Mario Singh chia sẻ thêm về những kiến thức phải nói rất là hữu ích. Vậy thì không biết với một người ngoại đạo khi mà muốn tham gia thị trường tài chính thì có thể kiếm thu nhập từ những nguồn nào đây ạ?
I created a model called the PIP model of wealth creation. So let me give you an example. When I use the word PIP, P-I-P, right, it stands for proactive income, investive income, and passive income. Let me explain these 3 so that our viewers will understand. Now, I've written 4 books throughout my career, and I've interviewed a lot of successful people, and when I study them, and even when I look throughout the world, most successful people in the financial world, they actually have these 3 types of income. So what is the meaning of proactive income? Well, the first one, proactive income, basically means that you have acquired a high income skill that you can use to trade it in the market. So as an example, someone who is good in selling, someone who's good in marketing, someone who is good in a certain skill, and they're earning a high salary. Okay? So that's called proactive income. The second one is called investive income. Now, the investive income basically means you're allowing money to make you money. The first one was you making money. The second one is money making you money. So that is essentially you taking that sum of money that you have and moving it into the financial markets to make a return. All right? So this could be making a yield or making a certain capital gain. The last one, which is passive income, is essentially you allowing a system to help you to make money. So now that could be an offline business or even an online business. You just spend a bit of time, you set it up, and you're making money again and again and again. Examples, online business, as I mentioned before, or even royalties that you could have from writing a book. That's me as an example. I've written 4 books throughout my life. Till today, the first book that I wrote, I'm still receiving passive income from it. So these 3 incomes, I think, is so powerful, that I just want to go throughout the world, including Vietnam, to share with people that they have to understand the PIP model of wealth creation. Proactive income, investive income, and passive income. Wow, when you ask me that question, it brings me back to a bit of my background, because I never studied finance. I didn't do very well in school. In Singapore, I studied in the university. I came out with 3rd class honors, which is literally very low in chemical engineering. But one thing happened that changed my life. Because I wanted to make a lot of money, as I mentioned before, I went to search out mentors who were very good in the financial markets. And I basically asked them to mentor me. So 2 of these mentors, their names are number 1, Kathy Lin. She's very successful in the US. The second one is a gentleman called Ed Ponzi. So both of them taught me a lot of things. They taught me things about trading, about investing, about macroeconomics, about the markets and all that. And that was so wonderful because it really helped me to increase my knowledge so much because of mentorship. And this is actually something I want to share with the audience as well, that regardless of whatever endeavor you want to do, it's so important for you to go find a mentor. Now, that's part 1. But part 2 is more important. How would you select a right mentor? Everybody knows now, if you want to achieve success, finding a mentor is important. But what are the qualities of a mentor? And I've come up with 3 qualities that I think everyone should take note of when you select the best mentor. Number 1, it's called credibility. Now, credibility basically means, what is the background of your mentor? Who is he in the market? Has he won certain awards? Has he achieved his own success? What do people say about him or her? So credibility is important. Number 2 is the word system. Now, your mentor might be someone who has achieved success for herself or himself, but if they don't have a system of teaching you how to replicate or duplicate their success, then they're still not considered the best mentor. They are good in themselves, but they may not know how to train you. So I think searching the mentor who has a system of training you is important. And finally, the 3rd one is called results. Never be shy to ask your mentor, what results have you achieved, not just for yourself, but for the people around you? So every good mentor should have these 3 things: credibility, system, and results.
Thank you. Với những nhà đầu tư lớn thì cái việc mà có một cái cơ hội đầu tư và kiếm được nhiều tiền nó đã là một điều hiển nhiên rồi. Tuy nhiên với những cái nhà đầu tư nhỏ lẻ thì làm sao để họ có thể kiếm tiền từ thị trường tài chính đây, và họ cần phải lưu ý những điều gì khi mà đối mặt với một cái cơ hội đầu tư trước mắt?
There's only one word, I will use the word is education, education, and education. I think that is so important because if we are not investing in ourselves in education, right, we are just going to be chasing the next shiny object. We're just going to be chasing the next investment, and there's no end. You will never know whether the investment is real or is it a scam, and that's why many people have lost so much money over the last 1 year, right? Because there have been just so many scams. So some people will tell me, Mario, but education is very expensive. And a sentence always comes to mind, if you think education is expensive, wait till you get the bill for ignorance. It is far more expensive, right? So it's important for ourselves to get educated. This is the first thing I want to say. The second thing, I actually have a model when people get themselves financially educated. There are 3 keys that you must have for you to be successful. The first key is what I call strategies. You need to have good strategies, all right? When to buy, when to sell, when to hold. You need to understand strategies. Number 2, you need to understand money management. How to manage your money. How much money should I take to invest? How much money should I take to compound? How much money should I get out of the market with a small loss? So money management is important as the second criteria. The third one is the most important, mind. It's called state of mind, your own psychology, your own mindset. So in state of mind, I break it down to 2 parts. Number 1 is called your belief system. What do you believe? Do you believe that you can be making that money? Or are you doubting yourself? And the part 2 is what I call your emotions. Because many people have a lot of emotions. Emotions like fear, greed, hope, and ignorance. So in summary, to share with everyone, the 3 keys are strategies, money management, and state of mind. Now, in terms of this being 100% of your success, strategies only account for 15% of your success, 1-5. Money management accounts for double that. So that's 30% of your success. And state of mind is 55% of your success, friends. So strategies 15%, money management 30%, and your state of mind, which is including your beliefs and your emotions, 55%. You can master this, you will make money again and again and again in the financial markets.
Rất là nhiều những kiến thức hữu ích đã được ông Mario Singh chia sẻ từ nãy đến giờ, và Ngọc Mai cũng được biết thêm đó là ông vừa mới tổ chức 2 buổi hội thảo tại thành phố Hồ Chí Minh và Cần Thơ. Vậy thì không biết là ông có thể chia sẻ thêm về những cái mong muốn cũng như là ý nghĩa qua những sự kiện này được hay không ạ?
So because I've been mentored very well by my past mentors, and they've taught me many things that really work and really can generate results. And I just want to pass it on. I just want to pay it forward to share with people that these are things that can really work. So whatever I've learned in terms of my financial education, in terms of my experience, I want to pass it on to them. And the main thing that I'll be speaking about, is this model that I mentioned just now, which is the PIP model of wealth creation. I want to share with people that these are the 3 main incomes that they must have for them to be financially successful. The proactive income, the investive income, and the passive income. And I want to share one last thing. Especially in Vietnam, I don't think people have it easy. The last 1 year when I'm studying the Vietnamese economy, the Vietnam index has dropped between 35 to 40%. The Vietnamese dong has weakened against the US dollar. There's so much crypto scams, not just in Vietnam, throughout the world. Many people have lost a lot of money. And I want that to stop. I think it's important that people really take a step back and invest in themselves first. Invest in education, and I promise you, friends, that you will be successful for the rest of your life if you choose to invest in yourself first.
Và làm thế nào để cho những người muốn tìm hiểu về thị trường tài chính tại Việt Nam có thể biết nhiều hơn về những kiến thức tài chính?
So maybe I'd like to recommend 3 websites. The first one is my personal website called mariosingh.com. Over there, people in Vietnam can get access to my 4 books. And in fact, out of the 4 books, 2 of them are already translated to Vietnamese. So I think the knowledge that I share there can really help them. It goes a lot in depth into whatever we spoke today. The second website is called Trading Spartans. So the website is tradingspartans.com. Now, the Trading Spartans are the first group that I know in the world that have already adopted my model of what I call the PIP model of wealth creation. So definitely follow that. And the final website is fullertonmarkets.com. So I'm the founder and chairman of Fullerton Markets, and that's really a platform that people can come on and find out more information and use the platform to actually generate some wealth.
Cảm ơn ông Mario Singh rất nhiều với một câu chuyện đầy thú vị và những kiến thức vô cùng hữu ích ngày hôm nay. Chúc cho ông sẽ có thật nhiều sức khỏe và thành công trên con đường sắp tới. Thank you for all your sharing today. It's so meaningful. Hope you have a wealth and happiness successful in the future.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you.